When I was a little kid and I could scrape together 50 cents, I used to get on my bike and ride up the hill, which seemed like 100 miles, or going to school 20 miles in the snow. And I'd buy my favorite apple pie and a root beer. Well, today I'm reliving those childhood memories, and I'm grilling some mini apple pies on my Island Grillstone and the Cooking Everything Outdoors show. The Outdoor Cook, Cooking Everything Outdoors show. I hope you try this at home. To start our apple pie turnover recipe, we're going to need to preheat our grill, and right now I've got it at about 450, just a little under 450 degrees, and I've turned it down. I'm going to get it down to about 375 for cooking. We're using our Island Grillstone. We're preheating that, and I'm also going to be using an 8-inch cast iron skillet, and I want to get that on the grill and preheat it. Now, don't leave your holder in there because it'll catch on fire. And also remember that when you're going to grab this handle, this is not enough. You're going to need a holder and a towel to wrap around that because it's going to be extremely hot. For ingredients, we have two ways of going about this. You can use the cheater method, which is simply a can of apple pie filling. Super fast, super easy, great for camping if you don't want to go through the process of cutting your apple up. We're going to go and prepare it from scratch. So I have two, and I use Fuji's. You can use Gravesteens or whatever you like in your apple pie. It's going to be a quick cook, so we don't have to worry about so much about it holding up under a long cook. And I just pretty much did these in little slices. You can do them in dices, slices, however you want to do it. This just makes it easy to scoop and fill the pie filling for me. I'm going to use 2 pie crusts. These are the ready-to-go pie crusts, you know, when they're on sale, or like $1.50. It's really cheap. 1 egg white, blend it up with a little bit of water. 1.5 teaspoons of cinnamon. Approximately 1 cup of brown sugar. 1 tablespoon of flour. And half a stick of unsalted butter. Fork and a spoon. Pastry brush to put on the egg wash. And a pie cutter to cut this bad boy up. First thing we're going to do is we're going to start cooking our apple slices. Now I've had mine sitting in some water with a little bit of lemon juice. That helps it keep it from oxidizing or turning brown. I'm going to drain this off real quick. The beauty of cooking outdoors. So, hot skillet, half a stick of butter. That's melting. We're going to add our apple slices. The reason I did it that way is because the cold apples are going to help cool down the skillet a little bit. My butter won't burn, which would give me a kind of a bad taste. So that butter's melted. Add my cinnamon. You could add more or less depending on your personal taste buds. I like a lot of cinnamon. We have our brown sugar we're going to add to it. Now this is about 1 cup packed. I probably won't use the whole amount. And just kind of judge it from here. Depends on how sweet you want it also. I'll probably have just about a half a cup. And this is really hot. Probably be a good idea to have some gloves on or something. Okay, I'm going to close this up, let it cook for roughly 8 to 10 minutes. So our pie filling is pretty much done. You can cook it until it's real soft, or you can cook it until it's al dente. And that's pretty much where I'm at. It's nice and thick. The brown sugar has done its work. And we're going to very carefully pull this off to cool down. Double grip on this. Close this back up, keep our grillstone warm. And now we'll prepare our apple pies. So let's prepare our pie crust for filling. This should be just a little bit close to warm or room temperature, not too much. And I found that if they're too warm, they don't unroll for beans. And so basically we're just going to unravel this. Carefully. And we'll take our second one. And do the same. Now that we have both of our pie crusts rolled out, we're going to cut them into quarters because I'm going to make 4 apple turnovers. Simple as that. So we'll set some to the side, open up one. This is where we're going to take our egg wash, just a little bit, and it's going to help seal the edges. And then I'm going to scoop some apple filling into the center. It's still screaming hot. Frankly, I think that's perfectly okay. I don't know why it would make a difference if it was cold. Just probably help cook it better. Now you got to eyeball this and experiment a little bit. If you get too much in there, it's not going to seal or close up very well. So that was about 3 tablespoons. It's quite a bit of filling, but it should work out just fine. Now lay the other one right on top of that, and very carefully make sure the edges are sealing on apple pie crust. Once you have it where you like it, take your fork, and actually I'm going to fold this one over here, and make some nice little seals on it. So that it will look somewhat pretty and help seal those edges. Some of the filling is going to ooze out. Forgot one of the most important parts. The egg wash on the top. That'll help brown it up really nice. And then sprinkle some sugar on there. I like coarse, natural sugar. Teeth crackers. Because if you're not careful, these will crack your teeth. Okay, Now when you're outdoors, I'm going to give you a little bit of advice. These pie crusts warm up really, really quick, and it makes them hard to move around. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make one, and I'm going to throw it on the Island Grillstone so that I don't have a big gooey mess all over the place. So let's get that going. Island Grillstone's good and hot. Get number 1 baking. It's probably going to take about 10 to 12 minutes. So we're about 10 minutes into the first apple turnover. And what I did when I put the other ones on, I remembered that I had to cut slits on the top. So you can see those there. That just helps vent, and you can see the steam coming out of those. Now the bottom seems to be toasted up really, really nice. And the top is coming along just a few more minutes on the top. So it's crusted over nicely. I wouldn't recommend flipping them over at this point because you could lose a lot of the insides from the apple out the vents. But as this is cooking, you can see the various stages of where we're at. So we're probably looking for another 2 to 4 minutes on this one. We'll pull it off and let the other ones finish up. Let's pull our first mini apple pie, turnover, whatever you want to call it. Let's pull our first one. Yeah, it's ready. Look at that. You're going to want these to cool off. Nice brown crust. Got a little bit of the apple pie filling starting to ooze out. Nicely cooked. It's a beautiful, beautiful thing. A few more minutes and I'm going to pull the other ones off. Okay, the other 3 are ready to pull off. Look beautiful. So there you have it, my grilled mini apple pie childhood delight cooked on the Island Grillstone. Before I forget, I want to take a minute to thank my sponsors, Camp Chef at OutdoorCooking.com and of course Island Grillstone. Without those two, none of this could be possible. You should take a minute and visit them and say hi for me, please. You can also find me on Facebook, iTunes, YouTube, Twitter, Pinterest, and wherever else I might end up. Hey, this is Gary House, Cooking Everything Outdoors show. Go grill some dessert. Bring back some childhood memories. We'll see you next time.